Narrative. Referring to the case. After Mrs. Green came back to conscious, she was repeatedly saying, "Catch him, catch him." Mr. George asked Mrs. Green to cool down so as to understand exactly what happened to her. She could hardly control herself, saying, "A youth harassed the girl, hit her, and ran away." Then she started again crying, "Catch him, catch him." That Mr. George couldn't have any more information from her. Trying to have more details, Mr. George asked Elena if she could give him some information about the young guy. Elena told him that he was tall, slim, black-haired, white-faced with blue eyes, wearing red t-shirt, blue jeans, and white sport shoes. Mr. George called the police at once. The ambulance attended the scene and took Mrs. Green to the hospital. While proceeding to the main gate, Mr. George and Elena were talking about what happened. Elena told him that she was standing alone while her mother was busy talking to the guests. A youth approached her, telling her that he was a son of one of her mother's colleagues. She further stated that the youth offered her a company until the end of the event. At about 11:15 hours, they headed towards behind the hall, as the young guy invited her to a drink. She also said that while they were getting upstairs, the young guy stopped her gently against the wall and started touching her sensitively. After a while, her mother surprised them and jumped over the guy, biting him from his left forearm to bleeding. The guy pushed her, then she dropped downstairs broken and wounded. She also added that the young guy introduced himself as Jack George, 18 years old. Then Mr. George got shocked, wishing that she wasn't telling the truth, as the young guy she was talking about was his son. On the main gate, seeing Mr. George and Elena, the young guy collapsed, crying, "Dad, please forgive me, I didn't mean to do that." At 12:30 hours, the patrol team Tango arrived at the scene. Both Mr. George, Elena, and Jack were taken to police station number 5 for further investigations. Dialogue. Police investigator: "Good afternoon." Jack: "Good afternoon, sir." Police investigator: "May you introduce yourself?" Jack: "My name is Jack George, 18 years old." Police investigator: "Jack, please tell me what happened this morning at Community Hall." Jack: "There was a social event and I attended as I knew that my dad George was a main speaker." Police investigator: "How did you meet the girl?" Jack: "It was so crowded I noticed a young girl standing aside alone. I approached her and I offered her a company until the end of the event." Police investigator: "And what else?" Jack: "At about 11:15 hours, we headed to behind the hall, as I invited her for a drink." Police investigator: "Jack, as I noticed, you are a nice guy, tall, slim, white face, blue eyes, and black-haired. Moreover, you look sportive, wearing red t-shirt, blue jeans, and white sport shoes. So you needn't to do that." Jack: "Yes, that's right. I didn't mean to do that at all. But when we were getting upstairs, I was attracted sensitively to her, so I stopped her against the wall and I tried to touch her." Police investigator: "What happened afterwards?" Jack: "All of a sudden, Mrs. Green came and jumped over me. She bit me from my left forearm to bleeding. It was unbearable, so spontaneously I pushed her. She dropped downstairs and I ran away. Police investigator. Who stopped you? Jack, the guard of the main gate, and he controlled me until police team Tango came at about 12:30 hours, and we all led by the police to police station number 5. Police investigator. Thank you, Jack. Jack. Thank you, sir.